When connecting your shore power, you'll make sure your lid engages into the socket. Push that right in so you can't pull it out. And to disengage it, you push the little trigger down there and then pull the plug out of the socket. Okay. So once you've connected your shore power lead, flick your multi-control into charger only. 16 amp current on there, and then you'll see your voltage start to climb on here. So ideally we want 100% battery before we unplug the next morning, and that will give us between 4 and 8 hours worth of running time on the motor, depending on how hard you ride it. So before disconnecting the shore power, we turn it into the off position, disconnect the lead, and if we want to use power on the boat for the kettle, oven, anything else, we then switch the inverter into the on position. Turn it off when not in use. Right, before setting off, after we've unplugged our shore power, we turn the generator on. This allows it to be in standby mode. If the batteries get below 60%, this will then cut in automatically to boost your power in order for you to get to your destination. At night time, we'd normally turn it off just so it can't kick in whilst we're sleeping. But whilst it's running, as soon as it achieves 90%, that will then cut off automatically. So this panel indicates your battery percentage. So at the moment it's at 100%. And on this indicator, you'll be able to see when it drops to 60% and the generator will cut in. That will then climb to 90 and cut the generator off. Right, so here at our dash console, we have our radio, thruster control, switches for wipers, horn, and water pump, so on. So first of all, we're going to go through the radio function. Press the center button which says source to turn it on, and you can tune it into whatever program you desire, and then hold the button in again to turn it off. We have our reversing camera, turn it on and off via the button there. Our jet thruster control, so that gives you port and starboard control over the bow and stern of the boat. So the indication of the switch is which direction that will push the boat in. We have our port wiper, our starboard wiper, our refrigerator switch, make sure you don't switch it off by accident. We also have our water pump switch, which we have a water gauge there to show us how much water we have in our tank. We have our horn and our gauge switch. Now our gauge switch does two functions, so that supplies power to the bottom helm and the upper helm. So in the centre position that is off, press it down for the lower, you get all your gauges come on, including your GPS speed log, and press it in the upper position for the upper helm console to be livened up. So we'll keep it on that one at the moment. Just go through these gauges. So we've got our water gauge, our toilet gauge and our fuel gauge. We also have a rudder indication gauge, so we can see where our rudder is positioned. Get that in the centre there. So our water tank and our toilet tank both work in synchronisation with each other, I guess. That there will be empty when this one here is full. So you'll need to get a pump out before you fill your water tank and continue using your water system. So on our electric drive boat, we turn the key, engage the lower console, we get the green indication ring there. We then have our reverse gear, neutral, and our forward drive gear. Now until you get a lot of power on, so just be wary of that when pulling away from your mooring, as your speed may increase rapidly. Once we've finished using this helm, we disengage the light, turn the key to the off position. So as this is an electric boat, in our galley we have all electric appliances, so your kettle, your steamer, microwave, toaster. We also have electric oven and an induction hob. So for the function of the hob, you need to cover the ring with a pan of a suitable size, else it will not function. So your refrigerator on this boat is switched on at the dashboard, as I mentioned earlier. And if you open your refrigerator, at the back there you've got a temperature control switch. Depending on how much food you've got in there, you might want to adjust it accordingly. So So in the forward end berth conversion, we need to strap the cushion onto the tabletop, like so, to prevent any movement. And then undo the clamps on the table, lower the table down to the height of the sofa. We then have a small arm under here which we need to release. So you push that in, that will then allow you to push the table right and tight to the sofa, clamp that into position so it doesn't move. So this here is your heater control. If you press it down, you get hot water only, and up you get hot water and your central heating. Now in the central heating position you need to wait about 10 minutes for the system to heat up. That will then liven up your control panels. So the control panel for the rear end of the boat is here. Just wait for that to warm up and cut in. So once your heater control panels are livened up, we can then turn them on. We can put the fan onto automatic and adjust the temperature accordingly. That will then cut off and cut in once it achieves the temperature or drops below the temperature. And then you can turn them off individually as well. So the televisions on this boat run off the satellite system. You'll need your satellite switch turned on. We then engage the television and we have our preview remote there.
Pavement onto the sofa lane.
As soon as that's engaged, we've then got our programs up and down.
And I'm just coming up.
The short
And
manoeuvre
our
will
volume
take
buttons
Pauline safely
on the
out of the
television
way
remote.
of the traffic. But seconds later, her ride comes
So
to an
the
abrupt
rear
end.
TV portrays the same picture as the forward TV. So you'll need
A
to
couple
change
in
your
a
channel
car behind them
before you go
capture
to
the
bed.
scene on their dashboard camera.
Then turn your system off once you're finished with it.